zombie YouTubers are killing the zombies community. Now, at first hearing that, you might be like, well, how does that make any sense, right? Like, surely the YouTubers is what's keeping this community alive. And I would have agreed with that if it was like maybe a few years ago. But in recent times, the zombies community has just become an absolute cesspit of just copying, unoriginality, and overall just a really toxic place to be. Not only from the perspective of like a viewer, but also from a zombies creator. I feel like a lot of blame for the current state of the zombies community is getting pointed at the wrong people. And honestly, I just want to make a video just discussing it because it is negatively affecting the overall community and bringing new people into this community. So before we do go into what I actually want to say in this video, if you're a zombies creator and your name has been mentioned in this video, I don't want you to sit there and take it as like immediate criticism. I think a lot of people in the zombies community don't do is self-evaluation, and they take any form of feedback as just immediate criticism, right? I'm guilty to this myself. I'm not going to play this perfect angel, right? I just feel like if your name gets mentioned in this video, just take it as feedback, look back at your channel and think, you know what, maybe I do need to change something. So, you know, hopefully that keeps any YouTubers out of my DMs. I'm not here to start any drama or any beef or anything like that. I just want to improve the overall state of the community so that it's a better place for just everyone. So I believe the first point that needs to be mentioned is just the current state of zombies itself, completely just ignoring the community aspect of it. Zombies isn't exactly in the greatest state right now. Although a lot of people say that Cold War was a really good game, a lot of people did leave during that time period, mainly because it was moving in a different direction that was aimed towards probably more casual players, to be completely honest with you. So, you know, they either just quit zombies altogether or they probably moved back to Black Ops 3, which is what a lot of people did, including myself. And then to be followed up by a game like Vanguard is a real kick in the dick. And then obviously looking at the current state of zombies now with Modern Warfare 3, I mean, Modern Warfare Zombies in an astounding 2 seasons has immediately been dropped of any form of support. And although Activision just wants to constantly state that it's like the most successful third game mode they've ever published, to me, I just do not believe that at all. If it was, I mean, zombies would be literally thriving right now. Where I honestly think they've gotten these figures from is people from multiplayer coming over just to grind camos. Activision is so oblivious to the current state of their own game. It's actually mind-blowing. So yeah, right, it doesn't take a genius to realize that the current state of zombies is pretty bad. And this actually leads perfectly into my next point, which is the state of zombies content itself. The amount of content creators I've seen in the zombies community that say that there is just nothing they can do in the zombies community because the game itself is so dry is actually crazy to me, alright? You've probably heard at one point or another that someone has said that there's just nothing new that you can do in the zombies community.
I was talking to VP because he, you know, uploaded, oh god, he uploaded a video that I kind of wanted to, you know, steal the idea from because it sounded really cool.
And now I'm going to say it now, that is the fattest cope I think I've ever seen from a content creator. And the reason that a lot of people just say these types of things is just to justify themselves being lazy and unoriginal. You know, the scene goes as followed, right? You click on a video, right, that you've probably seen from someone else before, and they'll probably go like, I had nothing to record, you know, there's just nothing new that I can make, or like, I didn't know what to make for today's video, so I saw someone else make this video, so I've decided to make it as well. And usually that's followed up by using the exact same title and the exact same type of thumbnail with the same layout and everything. I feel like the worst victim of this right now has been FPS Psycho. I'll put a video on screen right now, but the amount of 50 perk videos that have been made due to a recent success of his is absolutely incredible. I'm pretty sure in this video alone I counted like 48, 49 different videos, all with the exact title, the same layout or thumbnail. It is actually crazy. I'm completely for taking inspiration of someone else's videos. Now you might be wondering, well, what's the difference, right? Well, the difference is, right, is looking at someone else's video and then being, well, can I put my own spin on that? You know, can you look at that and turn it into something of your own? I've personally done this myself with a video called Beating Zombie Easter Eggs from level 1 to level 100. Now, did I make that video first? Absolutely not. The level 1 to level 100 trend has been a thing for absolutely ages. So, did I bring it to the zombies community? No, the video I originally saw do it was Zambi. His channel has been unfortunately terminated now, but he made a video called Playing Zombie Maps from level 1 to level 100. Now, you might be thinking, like, what is the difference here? But you see, I didn't rob his video exactly as it is. You know, I didn't just get to round 30 like he did, you know, do the exact same maps in the exact same order or anything like that. I believe I put my own spin on it and did Easter eggs, right, and did different maps and everything. That's what I believe more of the zombies community needs to be doing. You know, taking inspiration of someone and putting your own spin on it and changing the video entirely is perfectly fine. But going on to make like 50 plus perks on Kino de Toten or like 50 plus perks on Ascension with the exact same style as someone else is actually crazy, because it doesn't benefit you as a creator, because at the end of the day, no one's going to click on a video that has actually no views and a thumbnail that looks like this. The reason FPS had found success in it is because he already had an established audience. But even then, FPS himself didn't come up with these 50 plus perk ideas, right? I'm sure Jar2Easy was doing it months before him. The only difference is that the thumbnails are different and the titles are different. And yes, alright, although the videos are pretty much the same, at least there's some kind of difference just by looking at the video itself. So as I said at the very start of this, I've personally had issues with people just blatantly taking the title or the overall concept of my videos. For example, my most popular video here, Can You Beat Every Easter Egg in 24 Hours, has shockingly had the exact same title pretty much, thumbnail and everything, description, tags, taken by another YouTuber called KunkV. I'm not 100% sure if that's how you pronounce your name, so sorry if I butchered it. And although they state that it's heavily inspired by me and they give me a shout out and stuff in the description, what was the reason reason to use the exact same title and the exact same tags and the exact same style of thumbnail. Again, this is where I'm going to get worried, where people are going to take this as like criticism or just me hating on them or being upset or anything like that, but it's not, alright? It's just an observation of why didn't you just do a different title? I don't think there would have been anything wrong with just titling it beating every Easter egg in 12 hours. Again, look at another creator, we've got Mr. T Lexify here. We've got beating every Black Ops 4 gauntlet in 8 hours. Now, the titles are actually slightly different, so I'll give him that at least, but why add the 8 hours bit? You didn't even beat it in 8 hours. And there was no form of like, oh, the title was inspired or this concept was inspired by someone else. It was just a copy of the video, except with a misleading title. And the reason it feels like a lot of people do this is just simply to get some extra views, which kind of shows how selfish the zombies community can be really. Why aren't we working together in order to build up this community and making different types of concepts for videos, you know, different titles? I really do feel like if we could bring some more variety in the content that is in the zombies community, we could attract more people from the outside. We're a very tight-knit community in terms of a lot of people just watch the same stuff. Another creator we've got is Peaceful Zombies. I made a video months ago being like, how fast can you die on every single zombies map? They make the exact same thumbnail called Unique Ways to Die in Call of Duty Zombies, which is literally the exact same type of video, right? It's one of those videos as well that you can't really put your own spin on. I literally made the video as like a joke. It's not really something you can put like your own spin on or, you know, expand or add something new to it. It's a bit random that you decided to choose that video of all videos, but you know, whatever. I made another video called like the worst weapons on every zombies game. That video actually did quite well, and then shockingly a few days later, the best weapon on every COD Zombies game was, you know, made. I also want to point out on these gun game 50 perk videos that it's like literally the thumbnail that I made. I made it and I showed it to Peaceful Zombies when we were in talks, and bro literally copied the thumbnail before I even put the video out. That's how genuinely shocking some people are in the zombies community, that they'll copy a thumbnail before the video is literally even out on the original person's channel. It is actually kind of crazy. And the final channel I want to bring up is Roman W. He made a video originally called Can You Beat Every Black Ops 3 Easter Egg with Black Ops 2 Guns? An actual original video for once, and even gave me credit for the title. But again though, what is the need to have the exact same title as someone else? Like, you can easily change it to something different. Something like beating every Black Ops 3 Easter egg with BO2 guns, or I beat every Black Ops 3 Easter egg with BO2 guns. There's different variations you can do with it. And again, it gets to the point where when you start making the exact same videos, but you're changing one word at the very end, videos like that can get easily mixed up. And it got to the point where he was making the exact same titles as me before I even made the original video myself. And you might be wondering like, well, that's your fault for not getting to it. And fair enough, it is. When I was making, for example, the Black Ops 4 Easter egg video, I wanted to take my time with it and script it out and do it the way that I initially visioned. And shockingly, a video like that will take a lot longer than just recording each Easter egg individually. And you know, when I initially asked, could you change the title a little bit, you know, maybe distinguish our content a little bit more, in typical zombies community fashion, an entire hissy fit gets thrown, say that their content is original and there's no form of taking or copying or anything like that. And at one point in this whole discussion, I even got asked, well, why don't you change your titles around a little bit? Which is a little bit crazy to take inspiration of someone else and then say, well, maybe you should change your content instead of mine. And although we're on neutral terms now, I still feel like feedback needs to be given to these people so they can self-evaluate their own channels. And for someone who told me at the very start of January that their plan going forward was to make different types of videos, something that's a bit more unique to them, to go on to post stuff like 50 plus perk videos is actually wild. But it leads me on to another point regarding more zombies creators, that we can be so selfish to each other. Like, honestly, it really does feel like everyone is just out for their own views. And I do get it, right? Like, everyone's after their own bag, everyone wants their own channel to succeed. But when you take inspiration off someone in big quotation marks and you post stuff like this, you're actively just hurting the channel that you're getting the inspiration off. You're not looking out for each other's success. You're only after your own success, and you're willing to tear someone else's channel down because of it. Unlike other communities that seem to, you know, collaborate together and work together on making their channels grow. For example, look at like Minecraft SMPs. The whole concept of it is to stream together to make content for people to watch and grow everyone's channel all together. That's why something like SMP Live or the Dream SMP has such massive success, because they were all working together. And I understand that an SMP isn't really viable on something like zombies, and there is a lot of people that would rather work by themselves and, you know, do collaborations and stuff like that. But you can easily support each other by just simply not stealing each other's content and giving actual shout outs to the people that you get inspiration off. It really isn't that difficult, but for some reason the zombies community seems to be one of the communities that just can't do it. And this is why I say that zombie YouTubers are actively hurting the community. Because you're all stealing off each other, you're just sharing the same viewers. If you were a viewer and you looked up Call of Duty Zombies on YouTube and you saw like 450 plus perk videos, you'd probably think that that's all the community really has to offer. And if you do decide to stick around, you're probably going to watch the person with the most amount of views and subscribers, which is FPS Psycho. So all you small YouTubers who think these 50 plus perk videos are going to be your big rise to, you know, the top, it's just not the case. This should be the time that you guys are making videos where you guys should be experimenting with your content a little bit more and making videos that are unique to yourself so that people come back to your channel for you. So although this is probably the first time that you guys are actually hearing me verbally talk about this, I actually made a tweet about this on Twitter the other day where I pretty much said that people are going to disagree with what I'm about to say, but zombie YouTubers are killing the zombies community. Alright, I thought I was going to get absolute backlash for this, but it turned out that a lot of people who responded to it were actually in agreement with me. Obviously not everyone who did was YouTubers, but for the people who did, if you guys know this is an issue, then why are you guys continuing to let it happen? That's what I'm saying. It really does feel like I'm the only person to have actually spoken spoke out about zombie YouTubers just copying off each other blatantly, and how that is mainly the thing that is hurting the community. But there was actually quite a few replies to my tweet here, and I just want to go over them because I feel like it's something that if you are a zombie YouTuber watching this, you could maybe take some stuff away and, you know, apply it to your own channel. So the first one is by someone called Phone. They said, I agree, but what would you personally like to see other creators do in this space, and what type of content do you think is going to be sustainable until the next iteration of zombies? Now, this actually is a good point because a lot of people really don't understand that there is so much more content out there than just doing the same things that everyone else has already done. My response here was pretty simple. There's an entire workshop of mods and map that people can make content on. Going back to the 50 perk example, you know, just because it did well for other creators doesn't mean it's going to do well for you, right? You don't need to copy that type of video. There is literally pages of mods that you guys can pick from, and maps and everything, right, that you guys can make videos on. There is no need to look at a channel and go, all right, well, I'm just going to do that exact same video because it did well for them. For example, right, you should look at it like this. If FPS Psycho, right, makes a video on a custom map, right, and it gets 500,000 views, right, like his Family Guy video. If you make a video on the exact same map, what are you actually expecting to happen? 500,000 people have already seen that video. If you don't have an already established audience, the chances of that video actually getting seen by anyone is so slim. So in terms of what content do I think is going to be sustainable until the next iteration of zombies, it's generally just like the workshop on Black Ops 3. It's been that case for the last like 2 years, but it seems like because of a bunch of new zombie YouTubers popping up into the scenes, the amount of people that just seem to be ripping off other people is just higher than ever. Now, this one's actually from another YouTuber called, I think it's Derpy or Drippy, I don't actually know how to pronounce her name. They say that they agree to an extent, and yes, that the content is being milk dry, but at the same time, what do we have to work with when we haven't had an enjoyable zombies experience in 2 to 3 years? And this is what I mean, right, by people just don't see that there's literally pages of workshop stuff. Is it fair to rely on the community to bring content to the zombies community? No, I don't think it is. But at the end of the day, there is so many maps and mods being made every single day. That's what you have to work with. You can do different challenges, you can make different videos on like maps. I literally sit down every single day, right, and I just brainstorm some ideas that I can make for my channel, and most of the time I can come up with like 3 or 4 new ideas that I can make. What it seems like is people just lack creativity and originality and expect other people to come up with the ideas for their channel. Got another person here saying content is just milked hard to do something original anymore. This is 100% just a cope. As I said here, it doesn't need to be 100% original, you just need to be able to put a spin on the concept. People saying zombies can't be original is just trying to justify being lazy, and I 100% stand by that statement. As I said earlier in the video, the amount of people I've seen say that there's nothing for them to record, or, you know, they couldn't think of a video idea, is simply because they want to justify the fact that they're lazy. Angel here makes a pretty good point. He said he's been saying this for a while, and by extension the audience who kill zombies too, they just love their slop. Happy to see creators trying new shit even if it doesn't work out sometimes, and I do actually genuinely agree. But that's what happens when people just share the same audience that are bringing in new people, and that's another reason that people justify it, is that because it gets views, therefore it's okay. It's not, alright? People just seem to eat up the same content, and it does really suck because when you do see people making actual original content like Civo HD, YouTube just does not give it the recognition it deserves, and this is why people who want to grow in the zombies community that just get no recognition at all just end up quitting and leaving. It sucks, but that is exactly what happens. When we look at the replies here, it really does show what I mean by people just need to self-evaluate their own channel and that they are actually contributing to the problem. As I said, you know, previously, Roman here says, as guilty as I am of making a couple 50+ perk videos in a pinch, I do agree to an extent. We always say that the scene is stale, and when a new game drops, it's just the same 5 creators milking the views dry with half-assed tutorials and playthroughs. Again, I don't want it to come off like I'm needlessly hating, but the amount of hypocrisy in this statement is actually unreal. To complain about the issue at hand and then say that you're also making 50+ perk videos is actually wild. It goes back to the same thing I said earlier on. What is stopping you from making any other type of mod on the workshop? You make challenge videos as well. You could just make a challenge video. It's seeing that type of success and thinking that you can replicate it in your own videos just for, you know, some cheeky extra views. And for the second half of your statement, you could literally replace the words new video drops and it's the same 5 creators milking the views dry with half-assed tutorials and playthroughs. To criticize these half-assed tutorials and playthroughs and then make an Easter egg video where you say you have to beat every single Easter egg and then beat one Easter egg in your Infinite Warfare video, or beat not a single gauntlet in your gauntlet videos, does that also not class as half-assed playthroughs? Again, there really isn't any hate, but when you're saying stuff like this, you really need to look back at your own channel and say, wow, maybe I am doing these things that I'm complaining about. He replied back to my tweet as well, saying that reaction content is the biggest killer, and that is a good point. Reaction content is actually awful. It sounds really cool, right, on paper, right, having your video reacted to by such a big YouTuber, specifically like Mr. T Lexify or NoahJ456. It does sound really cool to have that happen, especially when you've looked up to these people, especially when starting up a YouTube channel. Lex has been around for literally years, so I'm pretty sure that every single zombies YouTube channel has had some form of inspiration of his, or was inspired to start up their own channel because of him. But from someone who has actually had their videos reacted to, you gain nothing off these reaction videos, right? And again, this is no offense to Lex, but every time I watch one of his reactions to my videos, there is practically no input to the video itself. I remember there was one point in my 24-hour Easter egg video that he reacted to. We got stuck on like the Shangri-La radio step, and he was talking about a whole different problem that wasn't even an issue in the video. And when I do actually explain in the video what the issue was, he goes, yep, I knew that the whole time. That's a tricky step. step. And it's like, what? You were just talking about a whole different issue like 2 seconds ago. This is adding absolutely nothing to the video. It's just we're not entering properly.
Oh, what the heck? Okay, this must be a plutonium bug because I just saw that where it's like diagonal. You see out here, it's like a cross where each of the symbols are. Perfect. The fact that that went diagonal, they might have glitched this step. Oh, also, there is a step here that a lot of people have not included on Shangri-La where you have to go on the other side and break something with a grenade outside of the map.
Glitching Queen. Even Yogi.
A lot of people have missed this step. Yeah, I remember talking to Milo about this because we did this Easter egg when it first released on Chronicles, and yeah, there it is.
Dude, you are not ready for this, all right?
Yeah.
Look, I'm gonna show you. There was literally a little yellow.
There it is. Yeah, there's a step right here for some reason.
So yeah, I mean, reaction content is absolutely awful. I mean, Cruppz made a great video explaining why this is just bad for the overall community, which I will link below because it is a really good watch. And he also talks about like the high round and speedrun communities and how they're also extremely toxic, which is another issue that I've had. I think when YouTubers constantly blame the state of the zombies community on just reaction content itself is again just completely neglecting the actual issue at hand. And this pretty much leads us onto the end of the video. What should we do as a community, as content creators do moving forward? I think the answer is pretty simple. Just stop copying each other. It causes nothing but issues. You're not only hurting the channels that you're copying from, but you're also just hurting your own channel and bringing a bad name to yourself. You're not going to grow in the zombies community by just copying everyone else. I'm sure my video here will only hit a small number of viewers and even smaller number of creators, but I really do feel like if everyone wants the zombies community to get better and improve and grow and become a bigger thing like everyone keeps saying, you guys just need to stop. You just need to self-evaluate your channel. Look at how blatantly copying of someone's titles, thumbnails, actual video itself is just an overall pretty shitty thing to do. If you for some reason have no idea on what you can record, there's an entire workshop, pages of things that you can make videos on. Like the combination of maps and mods is actually unreal, and it expands even outside of Black Ops 3. I mean, BO2, BO1 all have really good mods. For example, even if you wanted to do like 50+ perk videos, it doesn't only have to be on Treyarch maps, for example, right? Like you can do it on custom zombie maps. You don't need to make 50+ perks on Nacta and Totem 9000, you know what I mean? And just because a video did well for someone else doesn't automatically mean that you need to also repeat that video. Like for example, Peaceful Zombies made a video on the gauntlets and he literally said in the intro that you've seen a lot of these videos pop up recently.
If you have been watching zombie content in the past month or two, you might have seen a couple of videos floating around of Black Ops 4 Gauntlet mode.
If you've seen so many videos like that pop up, I'm sure doing another video on it isn't going to make a difference. That's probably why it only got 1.2k views when you've got 17,000 subscribers. If we're all sharing an audience, they'll have already seen that video, probably done better. See, alright, let's just put a stop to all of this. Let's all work together. I'd love to hear people's opinions on it in the comments. Together, we really can make zombies great again, but it's not going to happen unless people start to change. So yeah, I know this is a very different type of video than what I usually put up the channel, but I do hope you guys did enjoy. If you do see any of the content creators that I've named, don't just go to their channels and needlessly hate. The whole point of this video was to improve the community, not just throw it into shambles. Just if you see a video like that, just don't watch it. Since the zombies community just seems to be hungry for views, seeing that lack of views will just immediately deter them off that type of content, and maybe they'll improve from it. But yeah, that's about all I've got to say. Let's just all work together on improving the state of the zombies community for the future, especially for when the next game comes out. So yeah, that's about it. I'll catch you guys in the next one.